Seattle will pay more than $9 million after a cyclist was severely injured in one of the city's bike lanes. And this happened June 20th, 2024. The cyclist, Aviv Litov, was traveling in a bike lane near Green Lake, helmet on, traveling below the speed limit, according to his attorney, who says that the bike lane design was flawed. In this situation, she says the cyclist was unable to see the driver was unable to see the cyclist. It was a blind spot, and she did take this case to court, and a judge did agree. Now the city will pay $9.25 million to settle this lawsuit.
Dough, it gets another 48 hours, and then we rolled up these dough balls and give it another 24 hours.
Is that all cold?
Yes. You get something the agents didn't have.
It's called refrigeration. It's a beautiful thing.
So with something like this too, we can do things a little more fun. We can grab some burrata and burrata might be on this side.
That dough feels so good, Will.
Right? Isn't that nice? Worked in my own kitchen, right?
Yeah.
We are in search of this. Yep. Yeah. Today, the Devil Wears Prada 2 opens, and we have got to get the Prada handbag, the popcorn handbag.
Yeah, we gotta have it.
We gotta have it.
Let's go.
A million girls would kill for this job.
Heard that.
As we were pulling up, we saw a couple people with handfuls of these bags, stuffing them into their trunk.
And look, they told us if we were here at 12:30,
Which we are.
there would be plenty.
Okay,
so I'm gonna go in now and see what's
hurry.
left.
All right, everyone, gird your loins.
This is the last one, right here. You get a blanket,
I didn't know about that.
and then look, here's our designer popcorn handbag.
Wow.
Wow, sold out in minutes.
How much was it again?
$88.
For $88, we're getting all the butter.
And it is cute.
It is really, really cute.
Little hang tag,
Yes.
stiletto.
Yeah. The bad news is it cost a whole lot more than what we were expecting.
Absolutely. So we had to buy tickets for the movie.
You could not get a purse without, and if you wanted to get more than one purse, you had to get multiple
Yep.
movie tickets.
So every purse cost a movie ticket.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. You couldn't just buy the purse. You had to buy the popcorn,
the blanket.
and the pop, and the whole thing together. $80. Yeah, and I think the tickets were like 15 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is pricey.
Yeah, but
It's so cute.
you're gonna treasure that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cute, but I don't know if it was worth that much.
No, but don't you feel a little bit like Miranda Priestley right now?
Does she eat popcorn?
She should.
That's all.
Humanity is really struggling when it comes to addiction. There's real humans behind this pain and struggle of addiction.
How did you find these subjects, though? Because these are incredible stories that you're talking about.
The first moment was I was at a concert and the artist sang a song dedicated to the person who was right behind me, celebrating his recovery from alcoholism.
Wow.
So I turned to him and I said, hey, I was planning on doing a movie about this. Will you be in this? And he said yes, and so the rest is history. That's the purpose, and I was lucky enough to meet somebody who's overcome alcoholism. He was at his lowest, and through the strength and grace of others, he found the will to do better, and that it's worth it. And you see the joy of the individuals in the film that they experience once they overcame their demons. And so putting this in films and then taking this conversation out of the shadows and into crowded theaters is really healing for me. And I think it's healing for a lot of people who are going through the same thing.
Definitely. You just had your world premiere, which is so exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please tell us about what's coming up here May 6th in Seattle.
Yeah, so we're bringing it to the Admiral Theater in West Seattle, May 6th. And it's not just a movie screening. We want a night of hope, a night of healing, and a night of community connection. When I tell people I made this movie, everybody's like, why would a professor make a movie about addiction? And then I tell them, and they all tell their story.
Exactly.
Like, so many people have the same story. It just makes you feel connected and makes you feel like there's hope that you can do this. And it builds empathy with me, and I think it'll build empathy with the audiences who see the movie.
Vetting the viral again. Alexis, you found this one.
Yes, rotisserie chicken is all you need to start. You just shred it all up, put it right back in the bag with all the juices and the oil. You put rice in the bag. You have green onions. We have chili oil, chili crisp. We have soy sauce and sesame oil. Shake it all up, shake it, and then that's dinner.
Ta-da!
Your dinner's served.
Dinner.
Then you top it with the skin of the chicken. You need to put that in the air fryer at 350 for 5 minutes. It's delicious.
This is
Lunch
actually
is
an
served.
amazing meal prep hack for the entire week and little to no mess.
And it's pretty healthy.
Hey, I'll take that.
A judge sentences Brandon Gerner to 84 years in prison. That's the update in the case of a double homicide that happened in Maple Valley in November of 2023. The victims in that case, Robert Riley and Ashley Williams. Now, what investigators say is that Gerner and 2 others went onto a property in Maple Valley where Riley and Williams were and killed them both. This went to a jury, and after a jury went through the entire trial, they did find Gerner guilty. And today, when he was sentenced, he stood before the judge and said that prosecutors and the jury got it wrong. He maintains his innocence. He says he does plan to appeal, but right now, the sentence he is facing is 84 years.
If it says that premium fuel is recommended, then you can switch to regular gas. And that can save, what, 50 cents a gallon? But if your owner's manual says that premium is required, then do not put regular grade gas in your car.
As of Friday, May 1st, the state average price for a gallon of gas is $5.61 per AAA, and prices are expected to remain high. We took a drive with well-known Washington automotive expert Tom Volk, and he says the way you drive will save you the most money. For the full King 5 report and more from Tom's interview, head over to king5.com.
A couple of years ago, thieves here in Marysville stole a master key to mailboxes from a postal worker. Since then, some 70,000 people have been put at risk, and mail thefts have skyrocketed. Here in this one neighborhood alone, there have been 8 thefts just since January. Now, though, this neighborhood is fighting back with police having trouble finding suspects. They have actually put sensors in each of these mailboxes that send alerts to people's phones to let them know if someone is getting into their mailbox. There is also a 120 decibel alarm that sounds out throughout this entire neighborhood if one of these banks is opened up when it shouldn't be, like in the middle of the night. It's one way that folks here are finding a way to fight back against mail theft.
Hi, everybody. So summer's coming. Airfares are expected to climb because of the war in Iran, and now competition just got tighter. With the collapse of Spirit Airlines, an average of 300 flights and some 60,000 potential passengers will be impacted, and that's just talking about this month alone.
Not just a turbulent time because of the higher jet fuel prices, but with Spirit out of the market, that's one fewer competitor, really setting the bar.
For you, that means fewer seats across the industry, fewer incentives for other carriers to make you a deal. If you have a Spirit Airlines ticket, you're going to have to find some new fares. They likely won't have the discounts that you're hoping for as we get into the summer. You are entitled to a refund. If you bought directly from Spirit, it will go back to your original form of payment. If you bought from a third party, you're going to have to get in touch with them to get your money back.
This crime happened and someone beloved in our community was killed as a part of that. And so, you know, it's our way of showing to the Philippine consulate and the government that we take this very seriously and that we will not let this go and we will keep fighting for justice.
Charles 109, vehicle's taking off, showing pursuit. We're going to be westbound Pacific. Trying to take I-5 here, going to be going southbound.
Southbound I-5. Charles 99.
Oh.
Same check, we're smoking.
Get up. Let me see your hands!
Yeah, 37. Course we have now. We're pulling you. Headed back to the kick. Car 5 car.
Guardrail.
50 on 14, headed back to I-5. 3 on our ramp on the left.
Fire's gone.
We're coming to the back.
Let me see your hands!
Stopping. Location. Bluevale. Bluevale.
West Seattle said goodbye today to a Taco Bell. Not metaphorically, a full-on funeral. Flowers, Baja Blasts, a box of tacos, and Crunch Wraps set out like offerings and tokens of remembrance. Bagpipes, and yes, someone showed up in a taco hat. They even released a dove. Mourners gathered, all to remember the California Avenue Taco Bell, West Seattle's last.
A new audit uncovers a mess of a financial situation in a small central Washington school district. This report from the Office of State Auditor Pat McCarthy says an investigation started last year when an employee of the Mabton School District reported they were overpaid. The school district was able to determine that 35 school employees were overpaid, totaling more than $84,000, a lot of money in that small district. When contacted, most of those employees paid the money back, but auditors say 4 former workers have not responded to requests to return the money. One is a former program coordinator, not named in the audit, who was paid nearly $21,000 in the 5 months after that person left the school district. Mabton School District, which serves just under 700 students, says it's made accounting changes since then, and the case has been referred to Yakima County prosecutors for potential criminal charges.
The Seattle Kraken are expanding north. The team is building a new iceplex and community center in Kirkland. The building will include 2 NHL regulation ice rinks, a city-operated community center, a team store, and a public restaurant. The project is part of a partnership with the city of Kirkland.
It's a common over-the-counter drug known as diphenhydramine. You'll know it from the brand name Benadryl. It's very accessible as an antihistamine, but lately more and more young people are abusing it.
We're really concerned. We've seen a big spike in diphenhydramine or Benadryl overdoses amongst teenagers.
Jimmy Leonard is a licensed pharmacist and chief clinical officer at the Washington Poison Center. He says the overdoses don't appear to be about getting high, which in recent years has been popularized in the so-called Benadryl challenge seen on TikTok. Instead,
what we're seeing is mostly self-harm attempts as opposed to just trying to get high off of the Benadryl. And these are really large ingestions, 100 tablets or so.
3 people are dead and another is in intensive care after a suspected hantavirus outbreak on a cruise ship. That's all according to the World Health Organization. The ship is currently docked in the Atlantic Ocean. South Africa's health ministry said it took off from southern Argentina about 3 weeks ago with 150 tourists on board, making multiple stops in the Atlantic. Hantavirus is spread by rodents, usually mice, and symptoms can take days to appear.
It first manifests with like a cough or shortness of breath or something that's pulmonary, sometimes a fast heart rate, often with a fever. And as the virus kind of gets attack of the body, you can see other symptoms, including sepsis.
The World Health Organization says it's coordinating between member states and the ship's operations for medical evaluation of 2 symptomatic passengers still on board.
Our Selling Skinny investigation here in Seattle has exposed some of the risks of buying cheaper off-brand versions of GLP-1 diet drugs. They're copycats of brands names like Ozempic or Mounjaro. Some of you have asked, how can pharmacies make or sell those if the drugs are protected by patents held by Big Pharma? Well, it is a gray area, and compounding pharmacies, as they're called, are not supposed to mass produce these drugs. Now, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has proposed tightening the restrictions on compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide. These are the active ingredients used to manufacture GLP-1s. FDA wants to remove them from the bulk manufacturing list, quote, finding no clinical need for outsourcing facilities to compound them. The agency says FDA-approved brand name drugs are available to fill patients' needs. Of course, those brand names are more expensive. Search the web for our series, Selling Skinny, King 5, and you can see how not all of those diet drugs are made the same, and some may even be unsafe.
We knew at the time Randy Johnson didn't want to stay in Seattle, also knew we couldn't afford him, as I speak for the Mariners, could not afford to give him the contract he was looking for. He went and got his money, but again, they needed to trade him to Houston before the deadline that summer. Houston had him for not even half a season, a couple of months. Got knocked out of the playoffs, and so their trade for Randy Johnson really went down the crapper when you consider it was Garcia, Halama, and Guillen that went to the Mariners. Those 3 were solid players, especially Freddie and Carlos.
Strong cases for you both. Not in my top 5, Joel. Honorable mention for myself, but you know what? You sold it pretty well there. I'll reveal my replacement for Freddie. Hard for me to have Freddie Garcia over Jamie Moore.
Well, I can't wait to hear your replacement.
So earlier this week, the Pac-12 quietly unveiled its new logo, the soft launch to coincide with spring football. Lincoln Design Company in Vancouver is behind the new look, which isn't a complete departure from the iconic shield. It's a familiar feel with a few hidden meanings, specifically the lightning bolt crossbar that's over the A, which was inspired by the Pac-12.
When they briefed us, they had references to the Avengers, and one thing that I thought of was how, just individually, the superheroes are great, but when they all combined, that's like when they really make the Avengers.
Summer-like temperatures today in western Washington, and a friendly reminder as we head into the warmer months, if it feels hot to you, it's even hotter for your pets. When air temperatures hit the 80s and 90s, pavement can heat up fast. We're talking 115 degrees to 155 degrees on asphalt, which can burn your dog's paws in seconds. Inside your car, it heats up just as quickly. In just 30 to 60 minutes, temperatures can climb well over 120 to 140 degrees. Even if it doesn't feel that hot outside, If you crack the windows, still very dangerous for your pets. So that's why you never want to leave your pets in the car, even if it's just for a few minutes. The best time for walks and hikes or go to the tulip field like Molly, earlier in the day or in the evening when it's cooler. Make sure you walk them during cooler hours. You can test the pavement with the back of your hand about 5 to 7 seconds. If it's too hot for the back of your hand, it's definitely going to be too hot for their paws. And make sure you always have water and give them frequent breaks in the shade. A little planning goes a long way in keeping your pets safe during the hotter months.
A routine stormwater drain inspection in Australia uncovered a living ball of fur burrowed in the pipe. Why, hello there! That wily wombat apparently decided to turn the hideout into a home. Upon spotting the camera, the curious and cute critter chased it all the way back out.
Oh, what a beautiful day today. Not a cloud in the sky. I mean, just look at this. Right here on Lake Union. I'm on the water, not in the water, because, oh, these water temperatures are still a little bit cold. So in the next couple of days, as we reach the warmest we have been in months, certainly for the year, for some of us, it'll be 8 months or longer. Just a reminder, these water temperatures are still cold in the 40s and in the 50s. And yes, that does include those of you on the coast, the Pacific Ocean, the Washington side of that is still only in the 50s primarily. So, hey, get out and enjoy. I mean, my goodness, this is incredible, but just know cold water shock is a real thing. So on the water, not in the water just yet, but hey, this is just a sign of things to come. We will get there.